I'm joined on the News Hour tonight now by Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram. Mr. Chidambaram, thank you for talking to me. This is something that we have said, and I think the Home Ministry has put to the Pakistani government a long time. What is the significance of these 5 names who have been mentioned in the US government charge sheet, and the fact that the 5th of these 5 names has been mentioned as a clear ISI operative, Major Iqbal?
Well, these names have been on our radar for many, many months. The U.S. has included these 5 persons as accused in the supplementary charge sheet they have filed recently. And on that charge sheet, Rana is going to be brought to trial. As you know, David Headley has already entered into a plea bargaining arrangement with the U.S. government. In Rana's trial, 5 more accused have been added. Now, what Government of India released today was information available on our records about these 5 persons. These are the 5 who have been named in the second charge sheet, and the information available to us more than confirms that many of the 5, if not all, are clearly linked to the ISI.
Mr. Chidambaram, what would the government of India expect from the Pakistani side, especially after this US charge sheet? Because so far they can say that these are things that have been made up by the Indian government. You know, there is a bias and prejudice inherent in anything India gives us. But this has now come from America, so perhaps the perspective changes. What is your expectation?
Well, as the dossier released by my ministry today says against several of them, we have asked for voice samples of some of them. We have included some of the names in the list of persons that I have asked my counterpart to apprehend and interrogate. So the fact that there are common names on the list that I exchange with him, the list that has to be arrested, and the list whose voice samples we require, many of those names are among the 5 who have been indicted by the United States government.
Yes.
So obviously the Pakistan government has to give us a cogent answer why they are unable to arrest those whom we want them to arrest and interrogate. They must also give an answer why they're going back on the earlier promise to provide voice samples.
Can they simply deny the presence of somebody called Major Iqbal at the ISI? And will India push more aggressively for the extradition of these men? Will we talk to America also to push Pakistan further for the extradition of these men for 2611, sir?
See, we have some information about Major Iqbal. It may not be his real name, but we have some information which I have put in the dossier, which was released today. Now, presumably, the United States has more information about Major Iqbal. They've indicted him. They will try him. And suppose he's convicted. I'm sure the U.S. would want him extradited to the U.S. to face the punishment. I think in the trial, more information will come about Major Iqbal and the other 4. Obviously, you can't add a person's name to the indictment without having a lot of information about him. I look forward to getting more information when the trial begins on the 16th of May.
One last question, Mr. Chidambaram. Everyone wants to know, Dawood, still operating from and residing in Pakistan. Has the Home Ministry, has the government, following what has been happening over the last few days, and I'm sure you followed the debate in India, Mr. Chidambaram, decided on any further action on Dawood, and in the context of what has happened, maybe push Pakistan a little more?
Well, actually, this is a very different question. We have often asked Pakistan to extradite or transfer Dawood to us. We think, I think we know that Dawood Ibrahim lives in a house in Karachi. I think the broad coordinates of the location are also known. But the Pakistan government flatly denies that Dawood Ibrahim is in Pakistan. They denied that Osama bin Laden was anywhere in Pakistan. So I don't know what value can be attached to their denial that Dawood Ibrahim is not in Pakistan. But I think as the days go by, international pressure will mount on Pakistan to admit who Pakistan is sheltering, wittingly or unwittingly, on Pakistan soil. I think we must continue to mobilize international opinion against all the terrorists and those who have fled the law and who are sheltering in Pakistan, both terrorists and fugitives. I think Pakistan must own up to them, own up who is on Pakistan soil.
I think that's a very significant point. Mr. Chidambaram, thank you for talking to Times Now and the News Hour tonight. Thank you very much.